What is base 10? We use a base 10 number system. This means that we write numbers by creating groups of 10. To write numbers, we use digits 0 through 9. Once we reach 10, we begin to reuse the digits, but the place of the digit changes to reflect its value. If I pick 9 apples, I can show this amount with the digit 9. If I pick one more apple, I cannot show this amount with a single digit. This box can only hold one digit at a time. I cannot show 10 using only one place. When I get up to 10 apples, I have to group them into one group of 10. I also add another place to keep track of groups of 10. If I pick 13 apples, I have one group of 10 and 3 lone apples, or 3 ones. Here's what 25 apples looks like. This time I have 2 groups of 10 and 5 ones. How would I write 100 apples? 100 apples is 10 groups of 10. We need to group them together. We have to add another place, this time to keep track of groups of 100. This pattern continues. 10 groups of 100 is 1,000. 10 groups of 1,000 is a 10,000, and 10 groups of 10,000 is 100,000. Let's look at the value of the digits in this number. Notice that every time a digit moves up a place, it is worth 10 times more. The 1 in the ones place is only worth 1. But as I move to the left and move up a place in the place value system, each digit increases in value by 10 times. The 1 in the tens place is worth 10. And 10 is 10 times more than 1. The 1 in the hundreds place is worth 100, and 100 is 10 times more than 10. The 1 in the thousands place is worth 1,000, and that's 10 times more than 100. The 1 in the 10,000s place is worth 10,000, which is 10 times more than 1,000. And the 1 in the 100,000s place is worth 100,000, which is, of course, worth 10 times more than 10,000. You should be seeing by now why it's called a base 10 number system, because it's all based off the number 10. To help us understand base 10, let's try making some numbers using base 10 blocks. I'm sure you've used base 10 blocks before, but in case you've forgotten, let me remind you what these are. These are ones blocks. We use these little cubes to count by 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once I get up to 10 ones, just like with the apples, I can group them together, or I sometimes call this bundling, bundle them together to make a group of 10. And luckily, I don't have to do this every time when I'm using these tiny little blocks because I have a block for that. This is a tens block. Notice it's the exact same size as if I were to put 10 ones together. 10 ones is a 10. Then, when I get up to 10 tens, I can bundle those together. 10 groups of 10 is 100. And once again, I have a block for that. This is a hundreds block. Notice it's the same size as 10 tens blocks. And if I were to look closely at this block, I could see it's actually made up of 100 ones. This block represents 100. Let's see what happens when I get up to 10 hundredths. That's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 10 hundredths equals 1,000. I also have a block for that. Let's take a look at what this looks like on the side. I've stacked all my hundreds to make this big block that is worth 1,000. This is a thousands block. So this block is made up of 10 hundreds, and each hundred is made up of 10 tens, and each 10 is made of 10 ones. This is why we use the term base 10 to refer to our number system. We can use these base 10 blocks to make numbers. Let's try it. We'll start with an easy one. Let's use the blocks to make the number 124. In this number, I have 4 ones. I have 2 tens. The 2 in the tens place shows me how many groups of 10 I have. And I have 1 group of 100. So using base 10 blocks, this is how I would make the number 124. Let's try another one. This time, I want to make the number 1,609. Using the blocks, I would need 9 ones, I wouldn't have any tens because I have a 0 in my tens place, but I do need 6 hundreds blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this time I have a group of 1,000, so I would need 1,000 block to make this number. Here is the number 1,609 using base 10 blocks. Let's try going the other way. This time, I'm going to make a number out of the blocks and try to determine what number it is. Here's what I have. What number is this? Well, let's take a look at how many of each type of block I have. I'm going to start by looking at the ones. I see that I have 2 ones, so I'm going to put a 2 in the ones place. Now let's see how many tens I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tens, so I'll put a 6 in the tens place. That's to the left of the ones. And 1, 2, 3 hundreds, so I have a 3 in the hundreds place. This is the number 362. Are you ready for a hard one? Let's look at one more number using the base 10 blocks. All right, let's see if we can write what number this is. So once again, I have ones, tens, and hundreds. So I need a ones place, a tens place, and a hundreds place. And then I just fill them in. Easy. Let's see how that goes. Ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 ones. The problem is I can't put a 16 in the ones place. Remember, each place can only hold 1 digit. This is 2 digits, so that won't work. Instead, I need to think about grouping or bundling some of my ones together to make another group of 10. Remember, 10 ones makes a 10. So let's exchange some of these ones for another 10 block like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I have 10 blocks here that I want to exchange. I'm going to get rid of these, and I've turned them into a 10. Now I should be able to write this number because I only have 6 ones, and I can put a 6 in the ones place. I have 3 tens, and I have 2 hundreds. This was the number 236. In your activity today, you will be using base 10 blocks to make numbers, and you'll also be looking at base 10 blocks and trying to write the number. Just remember, every time you get up to 10 ones, that's a 10. 10 tens is 100, and 10 hundreds makes 1,000.